First of all, I would like to, on behalf of the Council of Ministers, once again extend our deepest sympathy to the family of Samuel Allen, well-known radio personality and owner and operator of his own online news site. I've known Venus Samuel for many years and have grown to know him as one of the persons in the media that you enjoy working with. He never put any, at least in my case for sure not, he never put any pressure on you. If he called you for what he considered breaking news and you were not in a position to make a statement at that time or indicated you would not, he would respect that. If you share something with him in confidence and tell him, hold on to it, release it on Monday, but this is what is developing, you would never, ever see him sneak up on you and inform in some way, shape, form, or fashion anything to get ahead of anybody else. He was one who really reported the news and was not in the business of creating false rumors, let them live their own lives, and then put the politician or government or an individual, private or not, in the position of defending what he thought should be something the people should be aware of. My last discussion with him actually was on election day, when I was asked what time I will be voting, and I indicated probably around 10 o'clock. Never confirmed it, and he was one who was there seemingly ever since then. And when I came, said, you know, I would never leave here without seeing you. And he actually took the lead among the reporters that were there in asking the questions, always in his jovial and professional way. We oftentimes joked about, his health condition, and I would tell him, work on it, and he says, yes, I am. And I said, yes, you're working on getting bigger. It is unfortunate that we lost a good man, a decent man, a very valuable asset to the media world on St. Martin, to PJD2 in particular. And I'm sure he will leave a void behind, which, knowing some of the people there, they will, manage to fill it as time go by. But again, on behalf of government, but also on behalf of myself and my family, our deepest sympathy to him, and in a special way also, I would like to extend sympathy to his friend Gromiko Wilson, who took it very, very hard and called me at one point, actually weeping on the phone, asking if we couldn't do something to get SZV to fly him out before it was too late. I did, as always, contact SZV, but their hands are tied in the sense that it's the medical doctor that has to make the referral. SZV can't just get up and call an air ambulance and make arrangements to fly somebody out. There must be a medical referral or a medical report to substantiate that. We have lost a great personality, and we are confident that his legacy will live on for many years. terms of developments in government, at this point in time, there is not much that one can report about. We've had the elections, we've had the election results, and I did so before, but I would like to, again, personally thank all those persons who have placed their confidence in me, all of those persons who have voted for the party that I lead, but also all of those persons who came out and exercised their democratic right, the right to vote or the right to remain silent. Like one person who told me that they deliberately spoiled their ballot, I told them, well, at least for the next 4 years, I don't expect to hear from you. You have forfeited your right to decide whether we should go left, right, or center. And anyone who refuses to participate in the election process de facto has silenced themselves because you have left it up to others to decide the direction government should take or what government should be in place. I was appointed by the Governor General as the formateur. The process has started. The two parties have received all the documentation needed for the ministers, the candidate ministers to fill out. The target is that by on Friday this week, all the documentation will be handed in to the governor, to the VDSM, and to the public prosecutor. The governor is charged with the process, but there are two entities that play a vital role in the process, which are the national security that does the screening and the public prosecutor's office that does the judicial screening, which is not much of a screening in the sense that they don't carry out an investigation, but they report on if the person has any criminal record, if the person is under any investigation, whether here or elsewhere. There are also other documentation that every candidate minister has to submit as part of the screening, which is a CV, bank accounts. They have to declare whatever assets they have in excess of 20,000 guilders, that kind of thing. So it takes a while to accumulate the information and to actually evaluate the information. The target is that by October 27th, that process will be completed and the swearing in can then take place simultaneously in the afternoon. In the morning, members of parliament and hopefully the Council of Ministers the same afternoon of October 31st. The two parties have also come together, have exchanged their manifestos, and the process is being worked on to come to a governing program. And just like was the case with the formation of Red, White, and Blue, we hope, like in 2014, to have a fully detailed, worked out governing program by the 27th, so that that too can be submitted along with the governing, with the report of the formateur in completion of my task as formateur, and hopefully then the swearing in will follow on the 31st of October. In terms of developments in government, we have had the opening, the moving of the Council of Ministers to the new administration building. It is somewhat getting used to the location. The office, it's like you hit the ground running in terms of functioning in the office, but with part of the support still being in this building and other buildings, you feel somewhat at times disconnected because I can run downstairs and book in a document or run downstairs and get a document Now you literally have to, cross the street or send somebody across the street to get it. Preparations are being made for the next phase in members of the organization moving to the building. It will take some time still before it is all completed. Work is diligently being carried out on the outside, the travertine tiles for the wall. They have arrived just a few days. I think actually it was the day or 2 days before we had the opening, and the wall on the outside, the fence, that is being completed, and more infrastructure work is being carried out on the outside, while on the inside, we still have some work to do. So it is challenging for the ministers and their staff as they have to still endure some of the inconvenience that go along with construction, but hopefully in the next couple of weeks, months, it will be a completed job. After waiting 8 years, I think it is worth the wait if we go an extra 8 weeks, so to speak, to get it all in place. Persons living in the St. Peter's area are going through some discomfort these days as there's a detour coming out of St. Peter's and entering St. Peter's. You can no longer use the main road, and the access to the Academy School is also closed off. This because the announcement that we made a couple of weeks ago that a contract was signed with a contractor to do the connection of the main sewage line in St. Peter's to the main line going to the sewage plant. That has been that is now being completed, because when the work was done several years ago, the line was never hooked up to the main sewage line that goes to the sewage plant. With this project now, which because of the school vacation, we were able to put it in this week. And if you pass now by St. Peter's, by the Academy School there by the former Chic supermarket, you would see a trench several feet deep. That is where that line will be buried. Traffic cannot use it, cannot use that road now, but people will be extremely happy in the St. Peter's area, because now the connections from the different homes can take place, and actually the process now to eliminate sewage water from running on the surface of St. Peter's different roads will be something of the past. The works have also started at the basketball court at Milton Peters College. I announced several days ago, weeks ago, that the community center in St. Peter's, in South Reward, the community center of South Reward have met with me some time ago and have asked for assistance. I met with them and management of Milton Peters College. The community council had approached Milton Peters College for a working relationship in terms of the usage of the basketball court. They would like to have access for the community to have their own basketball court, and for the community to also be able to use the court for fitness programs, for exercises, outdoor exercises. The management of Milton Peters College agreed, and in turn, both of them approached government for assistance. I agreed to assist, and we have been able to what have started is the upgrade of the basketball court, which was in bad shape. Windward Roads actually participated in form of a contribution and resurfaced the basketball court. And we have Michael Sprott, who is a well-known builder of basketball courts, or tennis courts and basketball courts. They have put on a new court and done the markings, and we have a contractor who will be supplying the lights. It never had lights before, so when this process is completed, the basketball court, the outdoor basketball court, to the northern side of Milton Peters College that will now have a new court with new markings and lights. It is the intention, the committee have also had discussions with SZV, and I know that SZV wants to carry out a preventative program. So investing in preventative programs, they would be able to bring down the cost of expenditures made for health purposes. So if we cut back on obesity, we will cut back on obesity-related illnesses that would cut back on medication, hospitalization, amputations, etc., etc. So the community council had also approached a Zumba instructor who lives in the area. They have also approached a fitness instructor, and most likely with the support of SZV, they would have a trial program kicked off in the area of South Reward. Land has also been earmarked adjacent to Milton Peters College in that open area when you're swinging to go up Weymouth Hill for the realization of a community center for South Reward Ebenezer. We have approached Delano Richardson, a well-known architect who is from the area as well. And he has been asked to carry out, not to carry out, but to make the design for the project. However, the funding for that has not yet been secured. He is eagerly awaiting, the funding to be earmarked so that he too can begin doing his work. He is happy to have been asked by the community council to prepare the designs for the community center for South Reward Ebenezer, and by extension, Weymouth Hill is expanding, and the valley also is expanding. So needless to say, the area is one that would require a community center as well. We also, just before election, we've had the groundbreaking for the project upgrade of Back Street. Front and Back Street have been earmarked for a total upgrade. During in the earlier part of the year, we did an emergency repair on Front Street in order to facilitate Carnival, and now the funds have been approved to do Back Street. Front Street, we still have some technicalities as far as the funding, complete funding is concerned, but we have secured now the funding for Back Street, and that project would have, they had a groundbreaking, and that project will begin anytime soon. Probably as I speak, they may have already started, but the groundbreaking was done. When that is completed, Back Street will once again be a road that people would enjoy using. But besides just fixing, it is not just fixing the surface of the road. Sewage lines will be put in where there were none. Other places had, and they were damaged and will be repaired, as well as the making it friendly to persons who are using wheelchairs. We have more and more visitors to the island, but also residents who use mobile chairs because of their physical condition. But when you reach in town, it becomes an extra challenge, not because of the condition of Back Street alone, but because of the high sidewalks with those little green, what they call Amsterdameters, that make it impossible for someone to navigate on the side of the road.
Today, October 5th, is the International Day for Teachers as declared by UNESCO. Under the theme, Valuing Teachers, Improving Their Status, we here in St. Martin take the time today on October 5th to celebrate all our teachers who are making a difference in the lives of our children. Though we are not in France to celebrate with UNESCO, People all over the world can show their appreciation for teachers in various ways: by celebrating the profession, by generating an awareness about teachers' issues, by ensuring that teacher respect is part of the natural order of things, by taking the opportunity today and the rest of the month to discuss, compare, learn, share, and improve the lives of our teachers, to show that we on St. Martin value our teachers and are working diligently to improve their lives every day. The Education on the Move Committee, together with the SG UNESCO Marcelia Henry, are, as we speak, busy finalizing the schedule of events for teacher appreciation that will be taking place during the entire month of October. It is celebrated around the world on October 5th, but I'm sure our teachers are quite happy to be on vacation during this week, to be off, to be free of teaching for this week. So even though Teacher Appreciation Day, World Teacher Appreciation Day, will be celebrated during our school vacation, the rest of the month will be dedicated to making our teachers feel even more special. Teachers Appreciation Day, in collaboration with UNESCO and EOM, first of all teachers will receive a letter signed by the minister expressing appreciation as well as a token. All school boards will then get a list of criteria for which to choose the most outstanding teacher. School boards and school managers will be given that criteria and will be giving a time to hand in that selection. In collaboration with EOM and DCOM, we will be interviewing each outstanding teacher and a student to be showcased at the closing of award dinner and dance ceremony. During the month of October, these are the activities that will take place. Every Friday, the ministry staff, Education, Culture, Youth, and Sports, as well as teachers, will wear their EOM t-shirts. As I mentioned before, the teachers will receive the gift and a letter of appreciation from me as the Minister of Education. The interviews will take place, and we will be highlighting men in education as well through interviews with the Division of Communications. Teacher Appreciation Fun Day will also be held at Emilia Wilson Park. This is scheduled for now for October 16th. A great day for teachers to come out with their families and for those who appreciate them to come out and celebrate as well. We will also be having the Education on the Move rally for all schools, which is scheduled for the 21st of October. The final Teacher Appreciation Awards Dinner and Dance is scheduled for October 29th, 2016. Of course, the discussions, meetings, I know the teachers are waiting a long awaited meeting with me to follow up on some of the changes that had been suggested and to be updated on where we are. And so somewhere also within that month of October, meetings will be held to update teachers on changes being made within the ministry or within, I should say, public education's quote-unquote school board to bring about the necessary changes that they have been calling for. So I'd like to take this opportunity today to wish all educators, whether in the classroom or in your private homes, all of those who do the after-school programs, teacher assistants, everyone that contributes to making education possible on St. Martin, a happy Teacher Appreciation Day, October 5th, 2016. And that I would implore all persons of St. Martin to continue to value our teachers and work diligently with us to improve their situations. Education is the most powerful tool with which you can change the world, as far as Nelson Mandela is concerned, and it is one of the quotes I hold dearest to my heart. Also, a good teacher is like a candle. It consumes itself in a light to light the way for others. And I continue to wish all teachers the strength, the faith, and the conviction, dedication needed to continue to light the way for the students who look to them for guidance. Happy Teachers Appreciation Day 2016.
I don't really have too much of a statement other than that I'd really like to thank the Democratic Party for giving me an opportunity to serve the country as Minister of VSA for the past 10 months. It's been a pleasure working together with my fellow ministers. And I think that in the past 10 months, we've managed to accomplish so much that I'm very proud of. And I think that it's important that part of my job as minister is to ensure that the progress that has been secured for the country in the past 10 months is make sure that it continues with the next and subsequent government. And so I'm planning on a very public handover of the ministry. I will do a very in-detail report in terms of what we've done as ministry, also in terms of what are some of the opportunities going forward, what are some of the risks going forward, and so really making a very deliberate effort to make sure that the transition is as smooth as possible. For those of you who remember, for example, when I came in as minister, there wasn't even a computer, and so trying to make sure that now that there's a proper transition so that when a new minister of VSR comes in, that he can hit the ground running, because I believe that that's the right thing for the country. We've done as much as we can to secure the new hospital, to secure national health insurance, and to secure labor reform. And I will do all that's within my power to make sure that the progress that's been made is smoothly transitioned over to a new government. Again, I'd like to thank the people. I've had a wonderful time. I've enjoyed this past 10 months a lot. I've learned so much, and it's been my honor to serve the country. Thank you very much.